welcome back. We haven't seen the lineup yet. Are you in the starting lineup tonight?
I hope so. I'm here. I'm excited to play, and if I'm in there, I'll be out there ready to go.
When do you think they'll let you know whether you're in there or not? Does it depend on anything you do pregame?
No, I don't know when that's going to happen, how that's going to happen, but I've been under the impression it's not going to matter, for anything now. I think they're just doing whatever it is that they need to do on their end, and I'll go from there.
Okay, I'll circle back. Thanks, George.
All right.
Go ahead, Deegan.
Hey, George, thank you for your time. Over this last week, just the very final stages of your rehab, what were some of the last hurdles that you needed to get over, especially through your rehab?
I just think it was important to understand, I guess, from myself, that I could go out there and I could do anything that I needed to do, anything that the game is going to require me to do. I need to be able to do it. I need to be able to be the guy that, the team wants me to be, the team needs me to be. So, I felt great. I feel great throughout the process. So I'm excited to be in the position I am now.
And compare this to last time, I guess earlier in the season when you came back from this injury. Do you feel different right now? And if so, how different do you feel compared to that?
Yeah, I do. I think, last time, I felt fine. I felt good, but this time I feel great. And, I think being able to do everything that I need to do, I believe I can. I know I can. Obviously, I had some, some good things happen in the games at the last week. So I'm excited about the progress, and I'm, ready to go whenever that is.
Thank you, George.
Yep.
You're up, Ben.
Hey, George, thanks for the time. Wondering just what it's been like the last, I guess, 6-7 weeks or so, however long it's been since you went on this process. What's it been like for you?
It's been brutal, to be completely honest. I want to play. I've wanted to play this whole time. I don't want to be hurt. I don't like being hurt. I understand that injuries do happen. But for it to happen the way it did, especially as fast as it did, was not fun. I want to be out there with the guys. I want to play, whether that's good, bad, indifferent, whatever the case. And this has been extremely hard on me, but I tried to do my best not to show it, just to be supportive of the guys every day, and to kind of just suffer silently and hopefully get better. And here I am now.
For sure. And then with respect to the batting order, you've obviously hit leadoff for most of your career, and that's how most of us know you from afar. So have you had any conversations about what that's going to look like? Charlie mentioned potentially easing you back in at number 5 or 6. Have you had any conversations with Charlie?
Yeah, I have. And, I told him that I think it's very important that, the guys stay where they are. I believe strongly in the way, Marcus, Bo, Vladdy, all those guys, and the way that they've swung the bat, the way that they've gotten comfortable in those positions, hitting with guys. I told him that I'm willing to do whatever he wants me to do, what's best for the team, and eventually we'll see what that is. But whatever he decides to do, I'm on board with it.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Yep.
Okay, next is Mitch.
Hey, George, thanks for the time. I was just kind of wondering how your kind of next day treatment or recovery process has kind of changed because of this injury or over the last couple months.
It's kind of all about feel, how I kind of wake up in the morning. I kind of understand my body a little bit, but I've had to work with the strength coach here, the training staff, to really develop kind of a more efficient pregame, a more efficient post-day plan. And, that's kind of where I'm at.
And then obviously you joined this team with pretty high expectations for the team. Haven't got to play much, but from what you've seen, how has this team kind of met your expectations or exceeded them? What's your read on the team so far?
My read is it's an extremely resilient team. you know, to kind of go through ups and downs as, you know, the guys have, you know, to go from highs and lows, you know, to late travel, to not late travel, all that stuff, you know, standard issued stuff that happens in season, you know, to weather the storm through injuries to a lot of different guys. It's awesome to watch. I know it may not be that the results that a lot of people want, but I think, you know, we're in a good spot. You know, it's obviously a very competitive division, a competitive league in general. So I like what we you know, the spot that we're in, and it's all about just one day at a time.
Thanks, George.
Yep.
Okay, we'll go to Shy.
Thanks, Rod. And George, thanks for doing this. Appreciate your time. You know, you've answered something along these lines earlier, but I'm just wondering, over the course of the season, as you've been forced to sort of play cheerleader, I guess, for lack of a better way to put it, for a much longer period than you would have wanted, how has your sort of clubhouse presence maybe evolved in terms of trying to find ways to contribute?
I don't know. You know, I think that would be a question for a guy that's in there. That's not me. You know, I try to be available to the best that I can, you know, to help, to answer any questions, you know, to talk about things or whatever the case. You know, I know playing would probably just be easier, and, you know, what would be probably better to understand kind of what the guys are going through, you know, both physically and, you know, in their own minds. But I mean, the best thing that I hope I've done is just kind of be there for the guys, you know, not shown that, you know, I'm not necessarily in the best place, because I want to go out there and I want to play and all that. So, you know, hopefully I helped, you know, to some degree for somebody, you know, whatever it is. And it's kind of all I can say.
I mean, do you find, you know, obviously guys are out there grinding every day and, you know, they are doing their thing. Did you find it maybe a bit of a challenge to navigate that, as being a guy who's new to the team in the first place, and just sort of not wanting to overstep your bounds, but, you know, still wanting to be part of the leadership group and finding a way to give something of yourself to the group?
Oh yeah, 100%. You know, I think for me, you know, it was about trying to find the balance, you know, between not playing and playing, which is, I know that may sound nuts, but it's really hard, especially for somebody who's used to playing every day. And you know, for me, it was about kind of not trying to sound like I'm overly happy, but at the same time, not trying to show emotion, because it's not fun being hurt. You know, I didn't have to go through the physical, the mental grind of kind of what the guys on the field were going through. You know, the late travel, you know, the early rising. I knew I wasn't playing, and you know, I didn't want to rub that in anybody's face or kind of rub it the wrong way. And I just kind of wanted to make sure that I was there. You know, I got my stuff done that I needed to do, and then, you know, at the end of the day, I was there for the guys.
All right. Thanks for the insight. Appreciate it.
Go ahead, Mike.
Hi, George. You talked about the resilience of this club, and we've seen it with a lot of these late inning losses. They're able to bounce back. How much of it, these guys have had to be resilient 2 years in a row, not playing at home? How much does that just play into their perhaps mental toughness?
I mean, it's huge. You know, again, this team isn't going to make excuses. You know, wherever home is, it is home. You know, but we're going to go out there and play hard every night. But it isn't easy. You know, I think guys have done a great job of just kind of accepting, you know, the reality and just, you know, going out there and playing. You know, obviously the goal is to play at home in Toronto, but, you know, whenever that happens, it happens. But, you know, for now, it's just go out there and compete.
And you did a lot of pregame work at Salem Field and watched some games, knowing that you came through Oklahoma City and hadn't played there. Like, just what are your impressions been so far of just how things are, how the ballpark is played and such, the few games?
It's been awesome. You know, I think the atmosphere has been great. You know, this is the first time I've ever been to this field. And you know, I haven't really played a game out there yet, so I can't say to how the field plays and all that stuff, but from from my vantage point, it looks like it's a good place to play.
Thanks, George.
Okay, go to Ben.
Hey, George, this time off is different than even in years past where guys spent significant time on the injured list, where you're kind of at a player development complex or back at the spring training facility. How has that helped keep you upbeat and through this process, being around the big league club versus being kind of left in some facility?
I mean, honestly, that's probably been the silver lining of it all, you know, to be around the guys every day, you know, to still develop some relationships, you know, to have fun, to kind of mess around a little bit, you know, for my own sake has been, you know, great, you know, to be around the big league club every day, to be around the guys, is really what helped me kind of get through kind of the mental grind of what I was kind of going through on my own end. So it's, you know, again, it's been huge for me, and unfortunately it's kind of one of those things that I had to go through. But you know, the guys have been great the whole process.
We've only seen like tiny little clips that Buffalo pumped out of you running the bases or a play. Is there a significant moment, a play, a jump, a read, time on the bases that said to you, all right, I've turned the corner, I'm past this, or I'm not even thinking about it yet?
I can't point to one particular moment. I just know that when I went to Rochester, I felt great, and I was able to do stuff there that really, you know, reinforced the fact that I felt great. It just showed me that I could do the things that I need to do, you know, to hopefully help the club up here. So I'm excited about it.
And then just one more, if I could. First Father's Day for you, how was that?
It was awesome. You know, it was special, you know, to spend the time with my wife and son and just kind of be together on that day. You know, it's a day that I'll never forget, and I'm glad I could be with them both.
All right. Good luck out there.
Thank you.
Your turn, Caitlin.
Hey, George. Thanks for your time. Just wondering if you've had conversations yet with Charlie or even management, just like how you might split time between center field and designated hitter.
I have not. You know, I told them that I'm willing to do whatever it is that they need me to do. I feel great. So, you know, again, whatever's best for the team that day, I'm gladly going to be able to do it.
Great. And this is maybe a hard question to ask yourself, but I mean, what are you hoping that your addition will bring to this lineup, both offensively and defensively?
I mean, the only thing I can do is just go out there and play. You know, we go out there, play as hard as I can. You know, you give these guys the effort that they deserve. You know, not getting stuck up on stats and all that stuff. Just going out there and playing the game. You know, I understand that I've missed pretty significant time. I don't want to put any expectation on myself besides that, you know, I owe it to this team, this organization, this, you know, fan base to go out there and play as hard as I can every day. And that's what I'm going to do.
Great. Thank you.
Yep.
Next is Rob.
George, you're a veteran and this isn't your first rehab. Typically, when you get back into the lineup and you're feeling good, how long does it take for you to feel really comfortable?
I mean, I think it depends. You know, I think it depends on how long you've missed, you know, where you got hurt from, all that stuff. I mean, it could be a game, it could be 2, it could be 5. I don't really think there's a timetable on when you're going to ultimately feel good. You know, I understand that this is you know, a hard league. This is not easy to do. So it's just kind of one of those things where I'm just going to go out there and play and, you know, hopefully feel good sooner rather than later. But, you know, I'm just going to go out there and I'm going to play hard, and, you know, whatever happens, happens.
Understanding that it could take some time. But how anxious are you to have a meaningful impact with this team?
Extremely. You know, I came here to win. I came here to play. You know, I've been on the bench since I don't even know when, a long time. And, you know, I want to go out there and be who they want me to be. You know, I want to be what they expect. And, you know, I expect, a lot of my own self, whether that's going to be outwardly or not, whatever. But I expect to be the player that, that they need me to be. And I'm not going to complain about it, whether it goes good or bad. I'm just going to go be the same guy every day. And, hopefully I can help out.
Good. Thanks, George.
Yep.
Your turn, Mike.
Thanks, Rod. George, thanks for doing this. Welcome back. This, I guess, is a little bit further to the question that Shai asked you a bit ago. When we've seen you on camera in the dugout, we've seen you smiling and laughing with Vlad and Teoscar and in that little group there in the corner of the dugout. I know that a lot of people, when they're new to a team and when they can't play for a while, don't feel like they're really a part of things. But has that been good bonding time for you? Has that made you feel like you're a part of this?
Oh yeah. I think, it's times like that make you feel better about your own situation. I would much rather develop those kind of on-field relationships on the field. But, I want to give all the credit to everybody on this team, and they've been very, very supportive of me this whole time. And that's why I always felt like I owed it to them to give my best attitude every day, despite, me not being in the best place, because, I want to be out there. I don't want to be hurt, but it's a different perspective. I got to kind of listen to guys talk about at bats, about stuff out in the field, and just kind of seeing it from I guess you want to say the bench as opposed to the outfield is obviously a much different perspective as well.
And when you said you went to Rochester, you felt great as opposed to good last time. When you say you feel great, are you talking about, I assume you're talking about everything, but how much of that is the on the field, the sprinting when you have to, and the recovery afterwards?
It's everything. I feel great in general. I feel like myself, which is exciting.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
And Hazel.
Hey, George, what was one of the final things physically in your rehab that kind of rounded into form where you wanted it to be?
I think the final step was just being able to repeat being explosive. I was able to run 100%. I guess you want to say in practice, in drills, multiple times before I went to Rochester. So that was kind of the big step for me. I passed those tests. I was able to do some good things in Rochester, and I'm excited about where I stand.
And finally, thank you for your time. I know when speaking to a lot of guys, they don't necessarily like to move around in the batting lineup. How important is it to you in your game that you're in the same spot in the batting order consistently?
Honestly, I haven't really thought of that. I just know that the guys who've been playing every day have earned every bit of what they got, earned every bit of what they have. And I was pretty clear with Charlie that I will do whatever it is that he needs me to do. I will hit wherever it is that he wants me to hit, and that's what I'm here to do. I'm here for the guys who've been playing every single day since, April 1st or whatever, have earned it. And that's fine. And I am completely okay with that. And, again, I'm here to do whatever it is that I can do to help this team.